Welcome. This podcast is a series of candid conversations exploring the human experience from a completely new perspective. In it, we will be diving deeply into the meaning of commonly used words and pointing you away from that old stressful way of looking at life and towards a new paradigm. This will help you find a sense of calm, cultivate meaningful relationships, and create harmony in every aspect of your life. Here is Navigating Life with Ease with Michaela, Ellis and Clare, Downham.
Hey, Clare.
Hello.
How you doing?
We're going to do this whole podcast like coincide with each other. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I have a word.
Marvelous.
Time.
No, that old chestnut. Oh, well, there's never enough of it and it runs out and oh dear, it causes all sorts of thinking, doesn't it? Time. But I do see, well, I sometimes see the illusion of it, that when we're in a certain state of mind, time, it just moves at different paces, doesn't it? Depending on our state of mind and how we're doing and how much we think we've got to do and how variable that is, which just kind of proves that it's our own little illusion. I was talking to somebody about January because obviously a lot of people get paid early before Christmas and say everybody's like, January is a really long month. And I was chatting to somebody about it the other day and they said, at the start of January, kind of, it's going to be a really long month. And then you get to February and you're like, where's January gone? It's like, it's finished. And here we are in February. And now, the first week of February is over. I do think, I perceive that it gets faster as you get older. Somebody told me once that's because as you get older, each year of your life is a smaller fraction of the total. So when you're 8, a year is 1/8 of your life. When you're 80, it's 1/80th of your life. And so that's why it proportionally feels like a shorter time. I don't know how true that is, but it just adds into the mix of the illusion of it, doesn't it? I was invited to do some journaling on something the other day. And one of the questions they asked was, how old are you and how old do you feel? And I was like, I don't know if I feel I don't feel an age. I don't have a relationship with that. I sometimes think my body feels slightly older than my mind when it's creaking and groaning and sore. But I don't really know what feeling. I'll be 53 on Sunday, but I don't really know what that feels. What does that even mean? What does it feel like to be 53? Surely everybody's experience of being an age is completely unique to them and isn't the same as anybody else's experience of being that age. So, yeah, it's all made up, is the overall conclusion of that little rambling. But also how much we use it to, there's a lot of really negative, in inverted commas, language around it, isn't there? There's a lot of language of lack around time. Not having enough, running out of it. Those kind of things. So there's probably more for all of us to see around it in terms of having a more easeful experience of life, which is what we're all about, isn't it? So I'm interested to know, what about you? What do you see around time?
Yeah, it's one of those things that I've had a funky relationship, I believe, with in my life. And this morning, I was late to our call, and so that took up your time. What I really noticed is a lot of emotions, a lot of beliefs, there are a couple of people in my life. And it was interesting this morning, there was a call booked. And anyway, one thing after another happened. It was a client who had booked a call with me. One thing after another, things happened in their life, and they were more than a half an hour late. I actually was able to juggle some things around so we could still do a full appointment. And then it went really long. And it's so one of my experiences of time is like cutting people off. Now, this is where the emotion comes in, where it's just like, there is a cutting of people off. So that's one area. And then I have a couple of people in my life who are so, like, they are on time, like all the time, no matter what it's for, no matter what, on time or a few minutes early. And I used to be like that. I used to be like that before kids. And so when I'm doing something with them, I get stressed about time because I want to make sure that I'm on time. And so anyway, it just popped into my head when I realized that it was my word today, because it's just like, yeah, look at all this thinking I have about time, and what do they think about me because if I'm late? And it's just like, well, what do I think about people, when they're late? And it's just like, it depends. If it's going to make me late for something else, then I don't appreciate it so much. If it's like this morning, by all rights, it should have worked out just fine. But because that went so long, it didn't. So it's like I have this warped thing. Like I often get years wrong and stuff because my concept of time is wonky, I think. And because it's so wonky, I have some insecurities about being on time and late and taking too much time. A couple of years ago, maybe about a year and a half ago, I caught this. There was a Zoom room. We were all sharing. There was a leader in the room. It was a small group, and we were all sharing bits. And I discovered, and I actually shared in that thing, how I felt like I had to hurry because I didn't have the right to this time. So time, even, it's like I need to earn it. I need to be worthy of the time that like I have on stage. Like, yeah, I'm just sharing all of these crazy things that have come into my mind around time. And time always seems to be involved in some way. Time, of course, even in the body. This past fall kind of did an experiment where it sort of came to me how my body gets like set aside when my time is crunched. Like the first thing to go, like when the time is crunched, when there's a lot of things on the go and they all seem to need, what's the first to go? It kind of points to a lot of things. It's kind of in everything. At least that's how I see that. It's like, oh, so now I'm more aware of when my time is crunched, my health is not, sometimes it still is the first to go, honestly, because it's the easiest to adjust because it's my time that I'm adjusting. But it's my body that's getting the cruddy end of the stick. So I'm just noticing how my relationship with time affects so many different parts of my life. It's fascinating to me. A few years ago, I said, body, time, money. Those were my three sticky things in my life, that it was just like, wow, I have a lot of thinking about these three things. So anyway, does that spark anything?
Yeah, well, the word that comes to mind is something around lack, which, both you and I are kind of looking at money, personally and poking it around a little bit this year. And I think that maybe we've got a similar, if we think we haven't got time to look after ourselves, and that's got to come from a place of lack, hasn't it? It's I
Mm,
haven't got enough of it to
mm,
be able to spend that time exercising or cooking healthy food or whatever it is that we don't do when we think we're pressed for time. That's another phrase, pressed for time. Save me. Just sounds rubbish, doesn't it? But
yeah.
that again is and I think maybe it's like everything else, the less you kind of think about it, the more it just sort of sorts itself out
Mm,
and things get done
mhm.
and it just it works out, some way or another, it just works out. Like
Yeah.
today, I was yeah, just by about lunchtime, I just thought, "Oh, I'm really could be quite well done with today. Just had enough. I'm just tired." Um, I didn't sleep well very late last night, and I think it's just I was on screen till too late, and then my brain was all awake, and so I didn't sleep very well. So, and there are things. There was something I was halfway through doing, and I just thought, "No, I'm gonna put the electric blanket on, I'm gonna sit on the bed, and I'm just gonna read for a bit and just do that because that was kind of the energy level I was at." And I don't have as much of that kind of forcing myself to do things, so I think my relationship with time has shifted a little bit. It's funny what you're saying about you were always on time until children. I was when I was working, when I was in my head teacher role, I was never on time for anything, and that was because I always would try and shoehorn a f a 30-minute job into a 5-minute window.
Mm,
I'll just do this before I leave instead of leaving in plenty of time. And then the nature of a busy primary school is that something then kicks off where you're needed in that window when you really shouldn't have been in the building, and somebody else would have dealt with it because that's kind of how it works. But you've hung around to do the little job, and then stuff happens and you can't get out the door because some kid's hanging from a light fitting or something something like that. So, yeah, but I am not late now as a rule. I think
mhm,
I don't try to shoehorn, I kind of know my limitations and I tend to set off earlier, and I'm much better at just going, "Well, this is half finished, so what?" Shutting my computer and I'm leaving it. Um So there's definitely something shifted there around it.
mm,
I don't feel so sticky about it now. I used to feel like there
mm,
wasn't enough and it could run out. Sometimes I do get a little bit overwhelmed if I've got quite a lot to do and I think, "Oh, actually how am I going to do all this stuff in this little time, what seems like a relatively small window of time?" Um But I guess what's meant to get done gets done, doesn't it? And maybe some things never get done, but that isn't gonna be the
mm.
world.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. The things that need getting done, they do get done. In starting the first week in November, I stopped going to I was in a membership which had quite a number of calls. And I was in a couple of memberships actually, different. And there was a number of calls each week. And they always fell in my prime creative time. And there were some other things that sort of precipitated this like, hey, I'm not going to go to any of the calls this week. And at the end of the week, like I was shocked at how much brighter my world got because I all of a sudden had more headspace. Now, you might look at it and think, no, you had more time because I probably gained like 4 hours just in the call time. But what I really gained was headspace, because I was jamming all these things in that were taking up my attention, my thoughts, my thinking, and someone else was directing them. So then after the call, there might be doing something with the material. Well, when I wiped all that out, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I did get physical time, but I also got headspace time. I all of a sudden had space in there. And I mean, they say there is no time or space. Well, I all of a sudden could hear me. I started to hear my inner voice more. That actually enabled me to get more done and have more, because I do like spaciousness in my calendar. I actually started to get more things done and in less time. Truly. So crazy. So crazy.
And having a lot on our mind is probably one of those things that makes time seem lacking, isn't it? You know, like if you go into all those calls and like you say, you're getting all that information, you know, from the calls that's then filling up your head, and then you've got more guff to kind of clear out of the way before you can actually get into that creative space. It's to be a heck of a lot more than 4 hours that gets, you know, taken up with, you know, both the calls and the results of what that has you thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because when you were quieter without the 4 hours of calls and all the stuff that came with that, when our mind's quiet, we just are more productive, I think. We just do get more done because we're in that place of ease and flow. And then time can really seem to stretch out, and, you know, you look up and you think, wow, you know, actually I've had my head down in this thing, this project or whatever. And it's only that time. That's gone. That's actually almost like time has slowed down for us to get that thing done. Thus proving again the whole thing's made up.
Yeah.
I think what's just come to mind as well is the whole, like, everything to do with time and all the structures we put around it. So, I was speaking a few weeks ago about New Year and how that whole thing, the first of January is that particular day in the year, and that's the new year, and that's the day when we're all supposed to make ridiculous flipping New Year's resolutions that nobody ever keeps. All made up. I mean, who says that's the 1st of January? It's just a concept, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
real. Nature, quite frankly, doesn't know what day of the flipping month it is at the moment. We've got crocuses, snowdrops coming out here at the beginning of February. They're all gonna get covered in snow in the next day or so. So, you know, nature doesn't really care that it's February. Nature goes, "Oh, it's slightly warmer. Let's pop up and be a crocus, or let's pop up and be a snowdrop," because, you know, the weather's has been bizarrely warm for this time of year. So this is the 1st of January, and this is January, and now this is February, is all just rubbish, isn't it? It's just made up. I mean, we used to have 10 months, and now we've got 12 because July and August were added in by a Roman emperor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why September should be the 7th month, because it's sept, which means 7. And October should be the 8th month, and November, 9, should be the 9th month, and December, dec is 10. That should be the 10th month. But Julius Augustus, July and August, named a couple after himself. I think he partly realised it wasn't all quite working right at that point. 10 months didn't really work in terms of how the year was panning out.
Yeah.
But he did name them after himself. That's a massive ego, isn't it? So yeah, even cool. That, like we had 10 months, now we've got 12 months, and then every 4 years we have to add an extra day in to make it all kind of work out. The fact that our New Year's in January, beginning of January, and Chinese New Year's not just all those like things. Oh, and didn't they change the zodiac recently as well and add a 13th zodiac sign?
Not that I'm aware of.
A new zodiac thing now. Look it up, Michaela. It's
I will look it up because I'm kind of into that a little bit. Yeah.
Either that or it was an April Fool that I didn't ever hear that was an April Fool. So the whole, like, all the structures around it, all the names for bits of time, all the minutes, hours, seasons, blah, blah, all of it is nonsense, really. And like nature just goes with the energy of the moment, doesn't it? And it doesn't care what we think. Because we're all here, we keep going for walks. Bruce and I are going, oh, crocuses are out. They're early. They shouldn't be here now. It's February. And the crocuses are going, whatever.
Yeah, right.
We're out. We don't really care what you think.
Yeah.
Because they're going with the temperature, not it's February. Because February doesn't exist, really. It's nonsense.
It's helpful. Like, it's helpful. We need our time.
Organizationally.
We need it. Yeah. Yeah. So we can all come together.
Not if we get it too, like, hold, like the 1st of January. That's when we're supposed to start a new. That's supposed to be when we want to create new ideas and goals. Well, no, I'd like to hibernate, actually, if I'm really honest. I'd like to do my new stuff in spring when it feels like new and alive, and when the world's coming back to, the Northern Hemisphere. In a few weeks, we'll really feel like we're in the nature coming back to life. And yet somebody at some point said, let's when we're feeling our darkest, coldest, sleepiest, let's go woo and join the gym.
That's right.
It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. And we all know how that goes.
Yep. It's very busy gyms in January and empty again in February.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's amazing where these conversations go, isn't it? They just go all over the place. I love them.
Yeah, me too. I think there's more. There's a lot more for me to see around time.
Yeah.
All the thinking I have about it. Yeah. Good. It sparked some stuff for me too.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
The lovely listeners have found it helpful.
Yes. Yeah.
And just say, I already know what our next word is going to be because somebody emailed and suggested a word. So
cool.
Place for the next one, because that was if anybody else wants to do that, please do. Please do drop us a message and we will discuss a word. But you've only to tell one of us, not both of us.
All right. There you go. Cool.
Definitely. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you, Michaela.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah. Have a lovely rest of your day.
Not much of it left.
Yeah. I've got a bit of it left. So
you have. Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good sleep. Yeah.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah. Bye.
Ciao. Hey, thank you for being a part of Navigating Life with Ease. We'd love to hear your feedback and receive a review on your favorite podcast platform. This will help others who'd also like more ease in their life to find us. We're here to support you, so if you've any words you'd like us to explore or you have a question, please reach out to us at navigatinglifewithease@gmail.com. Again, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more episodes of Navigating Life with Ease.